state.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mejia, this case is from 2002, allegedly the murder, the attempted murder and the injury to the child. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where have you been since 2002?
I was in Mexico. I got a wife and a kid over
And you had a wife and a kid there previous to 2002?
there. Yeah. No, after.
After 2002?
Yeah.
So from 2002 to the present, other than the time that you've been spent here in Bexar County or in the other
Yeah.
county, you've been in Mexico for the last roughly 22 years?
Enjoy the video. Hit the like button.
I think 2002.
Yes.
Yes, judges.
All right, court is calling 2002 CR 8385 and 2002 CR 8384 and 2002 CR 8386 State versus Jose Mejia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Charles Bunk for Mr. Mejia.
All right. And are you Mr. Mejia? And how long has your client been in custody?
Since May, he's been here since May the 9th of 2024.
All right. So,
He spent a little time in another county before he was brought here.
all right. So the defense has filed motions to reduce bond in each of his cause numbers. State, did you have a chance to review the motion to reduce bond?
I've spoken with Mr. Buck about it, but I have not looked at them. Judge, I imagine that they're just asking for a reduction.
All right. Were you all able to confer and see if you could reach agreement?
Judge, no, we're not in agreement.
We confirmed we were not able to reach an agreement.
All right. So, and the cause number ending 84, the bond is currently set at $10,000.
We'll waive our request in 8-4 just to expedite the process.
Okay. Any objection to the waiver?
Right.
And then, and the cause number ending in 85, the bond is set at $100,000. And the cause number ending in 86, the bond is set at $250,000. And 85, he's charged with attempted murder. And in 86, he's charged with murder. All right. Defense, it's your motion.
I'll call my client for the purposes of this hearing.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're gonna need to speak up so I can hear
Yes, ma'am.
and so the court reporter can hear. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Jose Mejia.
All right, defense.
Mr. Mejia, you're the same Jose Mejia that's charged in those two indictments. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you have been here in the Bexar County Jail since May the 9th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on these two bonds, the first bond for the attempted murder is set at $100,000, correct?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
second bond is set for the murder offense is set at $250,000, correct? Now, I know you have family present in the courtroom. Am I correct? in that?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell the court which members of your family are present today?
It's my mom, my aunt, and my brother-in-law.
Okay. And if those members of your family attempted to raise the funds necessary to make the bonds that are set at the current amount, have they tried to make your bond?
They tried, but it's like,
Have they been able to?
no, they haven't. My mom don't work, she gets, then she has my niece, she's taking care of my niece.
Now, you yourself, sir, do you have the money yourself to make these bonds?
No,
Do you own any bank accounts?
no,
Do you own any automobiles?
no,
Do you own any property?
no.
Now, you understand the court, if she considers reducing your bonds, she could put you on devices such as the GPS monitor. Do you understand that?
Yeah, they told me.
Okay. And you certainly would be willing to comply with any conditions of bond she would give you,
Yeah,
correct?
in the condition.
And would you live, or if you were released on a reduced bond, where would you be planning on living?
With my mom.
With your mother? And does she live here in San Antonio?
In San Antonio.
Okay. For the purposes of this hearing, Judge, that's all I have.
All right, just one
I'm
moment.
sorry.
I think there's no paper in the printer because I only got 12. Thank you.
There's some paper in the printer. I just put in the green. I put a brand new ring in it.
Well, I only got 12 pages. All right.
That's all the questions I have for the purposes of this hearing, Judge.
All right. Any questions state?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mejia, this case is from 2002, allegedly the murder, the attempted murder and the injury to the child. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where have you been since 2002?
I was in Mexico. I got a wife and a kid over
And you had a wife and a kid there previous to 2002,
there. Yeah. No, after,
after
yeah.
2002? So from 2002 to the present, other than the time that you've been spent here in Bear County or in the other
Yeah.
county, you've been in Mexico for the last roughly 22 years?
Yeah, years ago, been working and having my family.
So you have a family and
Oh, I had a job. I
and everything
had a
down
job.
in Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any other questions?
Mr. Mejia, you didn't know that you had these warrants to you until you were arrested, correct?
Yeah. I turned myself in.
Right,
Like,
once you found
yeah,
out.
because they
That's all I have, Judge.
Your Honor, just
Yes.
one other question. You said you turned yourself in Mexico?
yeah, like I told them I was American because they wanted to lock me up. They kidnapped me from a car with my son. They took me away from a taxi car.
And you're aware who kidnapped you from?
The cops.
The cops,
Yeah,
the Mexican.
yeah.
And then they turned you over to the.
No, they didn't turn me in. I told them I was American. They didn't turn me in. I volunteered to.
What, are you aware of why they picked you up from that vehicle?
No, they never told me nothing. They never told my mom nothing. They never told my wife nothing. They just got me and left my son in the taxi.
You're not aware if they are aware that you had warrants out for this murder and attempted murder and injury to a child?
No, because if they knew, I had a job and everything. They never arrested me. I've been arrested over there, and they never sent me over here. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess my other question is, you're not aware of a task force that was formed at of recent time in the last year that was gaining people that had, or detaining people in Mexico that had warrants out for attempted murder, but the American side and the Mexican officials
I
have
didn't know none of that.
not aware of that.
No, I wasn't aware.
Thank you. No further question.
All right. Any further questions?
That's all I have, Judge.
All right. The court will hear argument and just off the record for a moment. Edelman? All right. Thank you so much. All right. We're back on the record. Yes, I'll hear argument.
Just on behalf of Mr. Mejia, Judge, we're asking the court to consider he's testified he does not have the money available to make the bonds. We're asking the court to consider the reduction of the bond, the we're asking the court to reduce that $250,000 bond to a bond to consider reduction in the amount of $125,000. The $100,000 bond, we're asking the court to consider reducing the amount of $50,000. We're certainly understanding the court will place Mr. Mejia on GPS full house arrest, and we're certainly okay with that. He has a residence here in San Antonio to live with his mother, who is present in the courtroom. He's been present at every setting. The monitor gives the court the guarantee that he will continue to come to court. As he testified, he did not know. Yes, he was in Mexico, but that's not because he did not have these charges and flee the country. It's not a situation where he was on bond and left. That would put the court in a completely different perspective, I believe. So, having no evidence that he knew of the charges before he left, I certainly think the court could consider this reduction as a reasonable request. He has been in jail since May 9th of 2024. We don't think the request is unreasonable. We're asking the court to consider the reductions and grants the defense request for bond reductions in 2002, 8385 and 2002, 8386.
Judge State's position is, for one, that he was aware of the murder, attempted murder, and injury to a child that happened. That's like it's gone to Mexico and it's been there for the last 2 years. So when that argument is a likeness, and also the actual charges, the several charges, the state would be in a position that it's safe to give the community. We would be.
All right. In each motion, the court is going to deny your application for reduction. The court will include full GPS. If released, waive all fees as it relates to GPS. And counsel, if he is released and there's an issue, because sometimes there's an issue where GPS thinks there should be a payment, just let the court know and I'll make sure that's done.
Yes, Judge.
All right.